I'm gonna show you how to make a reverse-seared steak and my eggplant parmesan. The steak is going to be cooked very slowly and then seared, which is opposite of the way that most people do it, but I find it produces a more even doneness. We're also gonna make an eggplant parmesan where the eggplant is pasta. It's actually a pasta dish with noodles made out of eggplant. Now, I wanna season these before anything else. This pre-seasoning of the meat is going to pull liquids to the surface of the meat, and those are gonna help us to get a really nice sear. So I have here an eggplant. I wanna cut these all down to a 1/4 inch. Now, I'm holding the mandolin up. It is important to use equal pressure as you slide across the blade. And now I'm just gonna keep turning, making 2 slices off of each side. And I'm gonna take it down to where I don't think it's safe for me to be working with it anymore. That's about as far as I'm gonna go. So we are going to season it exactly as the steak. Just sprinkle a good, thick snowfall. Now, after that sits for a second, go ahead and do both sides. I'm salting the other side now. I'm gonna set another timer now for 30 minutes. Meat doneness is not a mystery. This is a probe thermometer. So what I do is I drive the probe right into the middle of the flesh. This is gonna go into the 200-degree oven. We're gonna very slowly roast this. Make sure your probe is facing outward, like that, okay? I now move to my eggplant dish, okay? When we start to build it in the pan, it happens super fast. So we're gonna have everything ready to go. And the first thing that is going to go in, the minced garlic clove. The second thing is some red pepper flake. I just think it's a more neutral flavor. 1 tomato, you're gonna cut it across its equator. That opens up all of the seed cells. Then most of the pulp's gonna come out and all of the seeds will come out so that it looks like this. And then I'm looking really for just a rough cut on this, a rough chop. Next, this is going to make it more rich because it's a very, very lean dish, so I have heavy cream. I'm gonna need 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. I have that already grated right here. I like finishing this dish with some breadcrumbs, but I like them toasted. So I do this over relatively low heat. Just barely start to turn brown, toss them a few times, and then get them off. Every now and then. Now, chiffonade is my absolute favorite way to cut herbs. So stacked, rolled, seam down, and then with long, graceful moves of your knife, because if you slam through basil, you'll blacken it. So see how I'm slicing through it. I'm not chopping down. And I get about to where the stems are, and I stop. Okay. Let's go ahead and deal with our eggplant. See how floppy this is now? So now I'm gonna move all this to my salad spinner. I wanna get as much of that salt and nastiness off as possible. So we spun a lot off of that. But I think it could be even drier. So I'm gonna lay paper towels back on these racks, and we're gonna put them out and let them dry. And I'm gonna go take a look at the steaks. I would love for these to rest, because when we sear it, we're gonna be adding a lot of heat. I don't want that heat to overcook the interior of the meat. All right, I'm gonna get another bowl. I'm gonna put a little oil in it. We're gonna cut this just like we would cut any other vegetable by stacking it up and cutting through a whole bunch of them at one time. I am slicing the eggplant into strips. I'd love for it to look kind of like fettuccine. I toss this in the oil. It's not a lot of oil, so I've got that ready. Everything's lined up for that dish. Medium-high heat for this pan. This cast iron I've got getting really hot for the steaks. I don't want to put oil in the pan. All I want is a little bit on the meat, okay? And I'm literally gonna rub it in with my fingers because I want to coat it. I don't want a lot of fat coming off of this. A 1/4 teaspoon of water, if it's hot enough, should disappear in about 3 seconds. That's hot enough. 1 minute without touching it. Now, when I flip these, I'm gonna flip them onto another part of the pan. These steaks, I want to rest 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I'm gonna add enough oil. I'm not gonna really measure it. I just wanna barely cover the bottom of the pan. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. I just want to really get that heated through, get it coated, still over medium-high heat. It's gonna take maybe 20 seconds. Tomatoes, 4, 5, 6. The cream goes in, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm gonna add the Parmesan and the basil, and I'm just gonna toss to combine. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. I'm gonna sprinkle on about that much breadcrumb. That's it, done, right? Okay, so if I just slice it like this and give you a piece, I'm actually giving you the full length of the muscle fiber. You wanna slice it, the bias, that makes for shorter muscle fiber pieces. And then you can simply fan those pieces out. Notice when I fan it out, I put the little end pieces kind of over on the side like that, and then I take this one and I eat it. That's pretty cool.